And I remember being so depressed when I realized that none of it was real. It was funny because when I watched the first one 13 years ago, I walked out of the theater thinking, I'm so depressed that none of that is real.
I think I saw it 5 times in the theater.
Same. I mean, Allie.
Granted, I did live in a different country where there was nothing to do, so watching that in the theater was probably good.
Allie and I were, we were dating when that movie came out, and we saw it, and I remember being so depressed when I realized that none of it was real.
Right.
And it was funny because this time, so I left the theater just down. This time, I took my son to see it. We went. So 7 weeks. In 7 weeks after it came out, we saw it in 3D, which was I didn't want to see it in 3D. It was just the only one available. Yeah. It was a weird deal. It was still packed. I mean, there were still people in there watching this thing. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I mean, like I said, it was a heavy movie. My family went through this thing this last summer, and there were scenes of that movie that brought me so much comfort. In a way, there were scenes of that movie that made me feel
like you're talking about the ending.
Yeah, like so. Well, the ending, man, the ending. I was,
What did you say earlier? It was like, well, this guy had no character development. He's dead.
Yeah, I figured the son was gonna die because they were like, "Hey, here's the son," and then nothing, and then let's focus on this guy. And so
he just causes problems for everybody.
So he was kind of a piece of luggage to get you, to one scene. But, the scene, it's weird, man, because I've seen, the movie just hit me right in my feels. Like I was ugly crying for about an hour later after the movie ended because it was so hopeful, and there was that.
Were you crying at the theater?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, you weren't at the theater, you were at home, right?
No, I was at the theater.
It was still theater?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was saying it was packed. We went, it's 3D.
No, I'm talking about this last one?
The Avatar 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was packed?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
I wish. Oh, man, that would have been so. People have been like, man, it's just blue aliens. They have no context of why you're crying.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That'd have been interesting.
Yeah. No, dude, I was very, very moved by the aspect of just this,
Well, that's the whole point of movies, though, is so you can relate and then escape but relate. I don't know. Escape and relate. It sounds like I don't know.
So for me personally, in my situation, I don't know. Maybe it's just a certain age, or maybe it's that my kids are growing up so fast, or whatever the deal is. But I think about the finality of all of the things, right? And I think about death more probably now than I ever have. I think about
it's getting dark.
Well, I'm just being honest. I mean, I think about things that I never thought about when in my 20s at all. And maybe some of that's because we've endured a little tragedy and I've seen some firsthand, or maybe it's because the last 2 years we've all seen death tolls and things rise. But I think about that kind of thing. And then I think about the fact that I was raised in this religion that believes that there's heaven and there's an afterlife and nothing is forever and da-da-da-da-da, right? And so as you get older, you start to wonder, man, is that real? Is there really heaven and all that stuff? I really hope there is, because you start having those kind of thoughts. And then you have, for me personally, I do believe heaven is real. I believe all of it's real. I'm a Christian. But there's other people that believe I'm crazy, and that's fine. But watching that movie, it wasn't a Christian movie by any means, but the universal thought that even if someone is gone, that they're not really gone.
Right.
That was powerful for me. And it made me feel better. And I guess you're right. That is what movies are. Movies, all this stuff it's supposed to do is supposed to create a little escape, or maybe be a cathartic experience to help you work it out in your own head and relate it to yourself. But it made me feel better that maybe they're, no matter what, maybe we're all wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone else is wrong, or whatever. But maybe we're all wrong. But maybe even if we're all wrong, there's still something else.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode of We Should Start a Podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, Click subscribe, watch more. We do a lot of this. There's a lot of funnies. Drop a comment. If we have a link to buy something, go buy something. If we don't have a link to buy something, put a link there and then buy it.